games than any other official, and Wayne Forsey. Mario Gonzalez starts in goal for the Nordiques. He's among the leaders in Stanley Cup play with a 1.65 goals against average. And he is opposed by Mike Liut, who has struggled at times in the first 4 games of this series. But Jerry certainly showed some great signs of getting back to his familiar style in the second period on Sunday night.
I thought it was absolutely his best period of the playoffs, Rick, and I think the players responded to his performance by having a great start in the third period in Quebec. At the other end, big question to be answered. Can they solve Mario Gosselin? He's on a roll. He's playing confident, and you know, goaltenders that have confidence and think they can stop everything, throw at him, are very tough. It's up to the Whalers to solve the little guy down there in net.
As we told you, the Whaler lineup is built for speed. We'll tell you about the line matchups as we go along. Dave Tippett opens with Dean Evison and Stu Gavin. And defensively, Joel Quenneville and Dave Babich. And they open against Goulet, Peter Stastny, and Hunter.
Rick, we're talking about the referee, Don Koharski. It's been said that he blocks more shots than any referee in hockey. We're kidding about it. Joel Quenneville took the puck to center ice and tried to drill it in the Nordique end and hit Koharski right in the rear end, therefore creating an offside.
Vancouver coach Tom Watt is watching tonight. He's saying, see, I told you so. Here's Jeff Brown with a long pass. It's over Peter Stastny's head. Liut winds it around. Tippett ties up Goulet. Quenneville one-hands it out. Norman Rochefort chased by Gavin. Here's Hunter. He came into the building limping a bit tonight, so perhaps he's got a leg problem. Here's Joel Quenneville. Whalers change up. Lawless hits the ice for the first time in the playoffs with Francis Andenine. Dana Merzen tonight is paired with Randy Ladouceur. They haven't quite completed that change. Here's Francis. Picard. It's going up. Running shoot save by Gosselin. And Merzen is spilled. Francis again, and this time his shot is blocked by Picard. Tilted it. Sends it out to Mike Eagles. He's run out of there by Ladouceur. Lawless drills it wide of Gosselin. The crowd is really ready for this. Denis takes his shot at Eagles. Lawless is belted by Gillis, and Gillis will go for a high sticking penalty, and Lawless gets out of there before Mr. Gillis can try to take him with him.
Great play by Paul Lawless, Rick. And this should have been happening in games past. When Gillis hits you like that, and he stands over you, skate away. The most important thing is to have the two-minute power play.
The power play's coming up. We've only played a minute 27.
Hello there, I'm Ulf Samuelsson from the Hartford Whalers, and this is my Russian buddy Ivan Patosky. I met him up in the Quebec during the All-Star game. Ivan here is looking for a new car, but he's confused with all the choices there is. So I told him about Mitchell's Volvos and Saab, 2 great cars.
Gosselin was right out on the edge of the crease. One good thing, Francis didn't look to pass. As soon as he got to the circles, he had one thing in mind, and that's shoot. Gosselin made a great save.
John Anderson, Ray Ferraro, and Sylvain Turgeon open up with the power play with Merzen and Babich. This has been a Whalers sore point in the series. They're only 3 of 21 against Quebec. 14% efficiency in the 4 games. Anderson steps around Eagles, but his pass is flipped away by Robert Picard, who's playing the hockey of his life in this series.
Rick, as I said in Game 3, if Picard played this way when he was a 20-year-old, he would have never been traded. He's only been traded 4 times.
Goulet gets it away from Merzen and flips it down the ice. Quebec, of course, with a shorthanded goal, that huge one scored by Peter Stastny early in Game 3. That set the stage for the Nordiques, rebounding to tie the series. Anderson. Back to Merzen. He's got a couple of goals. He fires, save by Gosselin. And it's fired away by Randy Mulder.
Rick, the Whaler forwards, as soon as the puck goes back to the point, have got to right to the net, have got to go right to the net. Gosselin's having a picnic out there.
Picard with a hit on Evison, and Eagles will send the Whalers back. The Whalers have had trouble solving Quebec's penalty killers all season long. In the regular season, they hit on only 11% of the power play against the Nordiques. Babbage is belted by Rochefort. We could hear that collision up here, and it's sent down the ice. Whalers have 24 seconds left on the Gillis penalty. Here's a steal. Goulet is checked by Babbage. Goulet tries to get a call and does. Dave Babbage will be sent off. And holding is the indication from Don Koharski. 16:47 to go in the first period. There's no score.
He was in the box for 2 minutes for holding Michel Goulet, and from what I saw up here, Rick, was a tremendous performance by Michel Goulet. As we're going to look at it, he was grabbed a little bit, but watch this, the reaction. Whoops! Oh, I'm sorry. I would say the nominees for the best actor by a penalty killer would certainly go to Michel Goulet. He'd get one of the nominations.
Thought there was a sniper in the crowd. Here's Picard with a shot saved by Liut, and he gets the rebound away. Dave Tippett. Jarvis. Quenneville and Sylvain Cote. Cote playing his first Stanley Cup game tonight. Jarvis comes up with a steal, but he's held off of there by Picard. Nordiques in the power play, only 19.2% of the series. 5 of 26. Goulet's got 3 of the goals. Here's Peter Stastny. Anton. Watched by Tippett. Whalers set up that box. Nordiques trying to get something going, but Quenneville gets it away from Peter Stastny, who interferes with Quenneville and trips Tippett, and it's cleared by Jarvis.
Look, the Whaler fans are taking a little page out of the Quebec fans' book. They're booing in every possession that the Nordiques have.
Goulet is hammered by Sylvain Cote. Evison clears it. He's on with Gavin. 47 seconds left on the Babbage penalty as Quebec will try its hand on the power play in the scoreless tie. We've played 4.5. Anton lets it go. Quenneville gets it to the point, and it's swatted down the ice by Dean Evison, who's playing with that back injury. It's not a serious one. He only missed the game on Sunday. 22 seconds left on the penalty. Steve Finn to Hunter. Liut takes a look. Can't get it by Hunter. Tippett controls it. Nordiques have very little time to get something going on this power play chance. Ogrodnik gets it over to Lafreniere. Back on his Babbage. Hunter missed the pass. Finn keeps it in. Brown cuts him off, and Merzen sends it ahead to Tippett. Brown's hacking at him. Tippett, he's battling in there. Turgeon had it kicked away by Lafreniere. Merzen sends it back to Randy Ladouceur. Finn controls it. Michel Bergeron has no qualms about using his young players in almost any situation.
Rick, the way that Finn and Brown are playing, you shouldn't. They're playing terrific.
Anderson to Ferraro. Turgeon snaps one off, and it hit Ferraro. Anderson to Merzen. The drive. Saved by Gosselin. Penalties upcoming to Hartford. And roughing is the call. 13:56 remaining. First period. The Whalers and Nordiques are scoreless.
It's been said America no longer has time for excellence.
As Merzen let the shot go from the point, Gosselin kicked the rebound way out, and I think that Ferraro found himself being tied. He just took exception to it and drilled someone right here. We're going to see the shot at the top of the screen. It's a left. Pretty good one, too, by a guy that only gets 3 or 4 roughing penalties a year.
He's from out west. They're tough out there.
And they're left-handed.
Here's Siltanen. And he's met by Quenneville at the line. The Nordiques with consecutive power play chances. They're having difficulty in getting set up on this one, much like the last opportunity. Liut will stay put. Picard around to Ogrodnik. Peter Stastny. Back to Siltanen. Anton gets it to Peter Stastny. Here's Siltanen shooting, and it's blocked by Babbage. The puck finds Peter again. Anton. Goal mouth pass. Quenneville was ready for that. it and shoots. Stick save by Liut. The rebound is sent wide by Anton Stanley. Picard keeps it in, but the pass is a forward. Gavin and Emerson come on. Picard rushes through. Anton in front, a save. They score! It was deflected by Picard and rolled behind Mike Liut for the game-opening goal.
I think this rolled right up the shaft of his goal stick. When we see it on the replay, Rick, it was a very routine, innocent type shot. I think you'll see that it rolls right up the shaft of the stick and drops in the net. Here it is. We're just going to see Picard tip it. See, it rolls right up, and the top of his pad knocked it in himself. Let's take a look at another angle. Now Picard is just skating in front, and he tips it backhanded, right up, bango. And what it did, it hit the top of his right goal pad and rebounded into the net.
The ominous pattern for the Hartford Whalers continues. Strange goals continue to plague them early in games in this series. Picard is second from Anton Stastny and Silton, and it's 7-17. Here's Liut coming out to cover a loose puck, and he gets the whistle.
Mike Liut did the right thing in that more or less routine save by Gillis. He fought it a little bit, and a goal that just went in. That can unnerve you a little bit, and he went out and he froze. He didn't take any chances. It's a smart play. Let's just settle down a little bit. Gillis also did the smart thing by shooting.
Well, Jerry, it's 1-0 Quebec. Do the rough and tough hijinks begin?
Rick, I don't believe, as we look at Basil McRae, it kind of looks that way, but I don't believe that it'll happen like it has in the past. And I'll tell you why, because of the first shift of the game when Gillis challenged Paul Allis and he skated away. You know, don't forget now, Samiko's not in the lineup, Sherla's not in the lineup. So I just don't believe it'll happen.
Now McRae in Quebec on 3 or 4 shifts in Game 3 was able to pull a Whaler off with him without spending much time on the ice, and I'm sure that's to the liking of Michel Bergeron. He's not one of the more talented Nordiques, but he's an enforcer, and he was able to accomplish his mission on several occasions. And really, there was a variety of Whalers he took off. Mike Liut is obviously having a problem with a strap in his leg pad, and I think he might be buying a little time here too.
Yeah, I think that goal was, like I said, just unsettled him a bit, because you see he really labored on the routine shot by Gillis. He had to dive out and freeze it. But this is a good play right here. Let's get our feet planted back in the ground and go at him.
Michel Bergeron.
Look at Dale Hunter. He shaved for this game. I almost think he's going to go on television after. I hope not.
Jarvis wins the draw. He's on for that face-off in the defensive zone. Francis and Deneen are on. Kevin had trouble with a pass. Francis deflects it into the zone. Ladouceur across to Merzen. Deneen once again couldn't gather that pass in off the boards. Eagles rushes Ladouceur. Alan Cote with a steal. It's played out in front, and Deneen grabs it. He gives it to Francis. Wallace is steaming in there with him. Wallace. Save by Gosselin. He hangs on. Deneen battles with Cote. And the whistle blows. 11:14 remaining in the first period. Quebec once again has scored the game-opening goal.
Was a rather routine shot by Paul Allis, but it's something we haven't seen in 3 games. Someone busting down the left wing, shooting it. You see what happened? If this guy right here, Gosselin, bobbles it, Kevin Deneen was right on the doorstep. He had to squeeze it when this shot came. He did anything less but catch it and freeze it. It was an opportunity, and that's great to see.
Players around the league say that Deneen charges to the net as well as any forward in the NHL. An integral part of his style of play, and the Whalers want to get him back on the beam. Jerry visited with him before the game. Stay with us at the intermission. We'll have that. Emerson is checked by Peter Stastny. Brown couldn't get it by Babbitt. Nice stick handling maneuver. His shot is kicked out. The drive by Tippett is wide. Well, you talk about rebounds. There was one Evason came back to turn the play around. Gave it up to Peter Stastny. Poked away by McEwen. Evason chips it to center. Rochefort played it back in. The Nordiques get back on side. McEwen, a member of 3 Stanley Cup championship clubs with the Islanders, making his first appearance here. He's sat out 17 of the last 19 games for the Whalers. As Tippett drives it in. The Francis line is on again, and here comes Deneen with a steal. Nobody's in front. Ronnie just arrived there a split second too late. Cote leaves it for Francis. He shoots off the glove of Gosselin. Here's Lawless. Cote, and he sends it wide. Lawless to Francis. They score!
Rick, they had the Nordiques going every which way. It finally ended up resulting in a goal. Gosselin didn't know where he was going. You see, this all started when they misplayed it behind the net. But Paul Lawless finally gets it in front. Bang, here comes Ronnie Francis, the whole net, and he buried it. You know, Gosselin almost got this. That's a little scary also. You could tell something positive was going to happen because the Nordiques were really unnerved in their end for the last 30 or 40 seconds before this goal, and it all became possible because of a misplayed puck by Gosselin. When Gosselin misplayed it, he took his defenseman out.
Cote is that 4th man rushing to the net. Didn't hurt either. Lawless and Cote assist on Ronnie's second at 9:46 to tie it. We're midway through the first. Here comes Paul McDermott. He's on with Hughes and Jarvis. The shot is blocked. John O'Grodnick is hooked by Ferraro. Merzen cuts out. He absorbs the hit from Gillis. He saw that coming. He knew he was going to get pounded and had to make that pass. Hughes scuffs it in there. Ferraro rushes in for a steal. Steve Finn maneuvers it out for Eagles. Lafreniere, the young 20-year-old center, has trouble with Ladouceur. O'Grodnick tries to center. Ladouceur's ex-teammate with the Red Wings blocked it. Ferraro slips away. Anderson had Turgeon breaking, but the pass was blocked. Ladouceur, his pass hit D'Amico, and that threw the play offside. 8:59 to go in the first period. The Nordiques and the Whalers are tied.
Look, I like what Jack Evans has done with the lines. He's got Gavin, Tippett, and Evason, 3 pretty good checkers. Maybe not as big as the Stastny and Goulet, but they can skate and they can check. And they're obviously going against Hunter, Goulet, and Stastny, and they'll be in their back pocket all night.
Brown to Rochefort. And Babbage comes up with it. Gavin steams through. Shoot! Save by Gosselin. He got his blocker on it. Dale Hunter maneuvers out. He's playing on that bad ankle. He broke it back in November. Missed 34 games, and the club was 7 games under 500 while he was out. There's a shot that deflected off Babbage. Quenneville plasters Goulet. Peter Stastny rolled it in front, and Liut was there to stop him. Hunter comes back to run Quenneville. He's going to get a call. Hunter will go for high sticking, and the Whalers will get their second power play chance of the game.
Might be a major too, Rick. I kind of think that there's some blood in Joel Quenneville's face. We'll see how he calls it.
Hunter's got 4 minutes. High stick 4.
He's going to call it 4 minutes. Let's watch it right here in the corner. Hunter comes back. He gets the stick right up. We just missed it to the right of your screen. Now he's calling 4 minutes, which you can call when the stick goes to the facial area. But in this case, there's blood. I think he should call it 5.
There might be 1 difference or 1 minute difference in time there, but
that's not the key, right?
The major gives you the unlimited power play. As we look at Hunter, the clean-shaven one.
Maybe he's in disguise tonight. He's trying to play this game like a little altar boy, and they won't recognize him. But he gave himself away right there when he put the stick up in the guy in Joel's face. Well, obviously, evidently, they're going to stick with the 4 minutes. That's hardly fair because some guys are worse bleeders than other guys. If Joel was a chronic bleeder, it would have been a 5-minute uninterrupted power play.
Well, here it is, Jerry. The opportunity has been presented to the Hartford Whalers on a silver platter.
Rick, if there is one thing that confused me about the Whalers this year, and we've mentioned it before, was that they didn't take advantage. They did everything the hard way. They didn't take advantage of some of the things offered to them throughout the year. And certainly in this playoffs, they haven't taken advantage of the many power play opportunities they had. And certainly in Game 3 in Quebec was an example of that. And right now they got 4 minutes, two 2-minute minors, and they got to score at least one to take advantage of what's being offered.
What you're looking at now is assistant coach Guy Lapointe pointing out a couple of fans who leaned over the glass near the players' bench and exchanged insults and perhaps a few other things with the Nordique players and coaching staff. And Lapointe has called Koharski over to alert him of that, and I think the security staff has been called upon here at the Civic Center. A couple of people are going to be leaving early tonight.
They must have been standing, Rick, or maybe just throwing something over there because that glass is fairly high there. It's not as high at the ends as it is behind them.
Yeah, I saw them standing over the side of the glass there.
Should leave in there. What the heck? Pay good money for these seats. Hope they have the decency anyway to say, just come up and stand here and watch it.
Well, somebody on the bench started squirting the fans with the water bottles.
This guy's going out a hero. Look at him. He's shaking hands with everyone. Maybe he put some sort of a potion in there that makes you drowsy, but he was throwing over the glass.
I don't know. Jack Evans calmly looks on, and he's waiting for his club's power play to
explode.
You got it. 8:08 to go in the first period. A 4-minute power play, and the double minor for House kicking off towards the end, and he just missed the far post. He had it. Denis gave it up to Alain Cote. Here comes Gillis, and Merzen in no trouble regaining the puck. Cote, though, with his dogged checking, gives Merzen problems, and Francis has to try to take control. The Nordiques don't have the fastest penalty-killing unit in the league, Jerry, but they're big, and they just do not stop.
They got Michel Drouet out there. He's not exactly a tortoise.
No, but he doesn't see all that much action on the penalty-killing unit. He is on with Eagles now. Eagles is checked by Babic, and here comes Goulet, and he's hammered by Denis. Merzen slips it to Turgeon.
See, Goulet's out there when Hunter's in the box. That's what it is.
Merzen gets it over to Turgeon. We've got 2:47 to go in the double minor, and Turgeon goes wide on Rochefort, who doesn't get beaten wide too often. Picard runs into Ferraro. Picard tries to cover the puck. Babic keeps it in, but the pass is deflected. Whalers have one shot toward the net, a blistering drive by Lawless, but it was just wide. That's all they've been able to muster thus far. It's lifted out by Cote. Here's Gillis back on. Anderson moves him out of there. Mike McEwen grabs the puck. It's a 4-on-3. McEwen shooting. He scores!
Rick, there's 2:05 left, so they still have a power play for 2 minutes. Good thinking by Mike McEwen. He knew that it was getting towards the end of the first minor 200, and he let it go. But watch this. It's going to hit the top of Goslin's stick, and this might be the shot that breaks the bubble of Mario Goslin. Not a good goal. See, it hits right to the top of the stick and goes between his legs. I was talking to Kevin Deneen before the game, and I said, Kevin, I'm not taking Kevin. said, if you're in any doubt or confused when you're going to take a shot in Gosselin, aim for his pads, low in his pads. I kind of believe he's weak between the legs. Because Gosselin has the flair for the dramatic. He wants to make ordinary saves look spectacular, and he overreacts. When that happens, you know, you always want to do the split a little prematurely, and you're vulnerable between the legs. Anyway, this shot that McEwen let go at the top of the stick and went through his legs, and it come at the right time with only 3 seconds, 5 seconds left in the first penalty.
You got that right. The crowd was objecting to Michel Bergeron's delay tactics, trying to take an edge off this goal.
Let's look at it again right here. Now McEwen knows that the first penalty is winding down, and he just rips it. He's got a terrific shot. He hits the stick and bang, flips right in the net. Hope this unnerves Gosselin. You know, he's been playing pretty confident, like I said before the game. Well, I don't think this is Mike McEwen's. I don't have the stats in front of me, but he scored a few goals in Stanley Cup competition.
This is game number 76 in his Stanley Cup career, as the puck is set down the ice by Moeller. McEwen has 11 Stanley Cup goals before this one. McEwen fires it in, and the puck takes a crazy hop. Gosselin got back to the post in time, and the Whalers are sent back. They really haven't had any time to set up here. We've had the Lawless drive that went wide, and 2 hot shots by McEwen. Francis races in there against Picard. Denis runs him out of there, but not before the veteran defenseman clears it.
And didn't you think Lawless' shot had Gosselin beat also? It must have missed by the smallest of margins.
He had that far post, no question. Cote sends it in. Once again, a crazy hop. Ferraro scoops it up. McEwen is pressured by Goulet, but he gets it into Denis. Ferraro to Kevin. Poke check is made by Picard. The stick is lost by Gosselin. Now we've got a penalty upcoming against the Hartford Whalers as Koharski blows the whistle, and a slash will be called against the Whalers. I believe Ray Ferraro will make a return visit to the penalty box.
Rick, I don't believe what I'm seeing. Ray Ferraro's got 2 minutes for roughing and 2 minutes for slashing. And he's certainly arguing this slashing call. He's a little mad. I don't know what's at the caller at himself.
And he'll leave it and out. 2-1 Whalers, 5:14 to go in the first.
Like I said, he got 2 minutes for roughing, then 2 minutes for slashing, and that's not the MO on Ray Ferraro. And I'm sure he was getting mugged in front of the net and just turn around and give one of the Nordiques a two-hander.
He's a little extra pumped for this one. The teams at even strength. Lafreniere and Ogrodnik up front for Quebec. They work against Evason and Jarvis. Rochefort takes the shot, and it bounced off Ladouceur, and we've got a penalty coming up against Hartford. Evason will be sent off. And that creates a 4-on-3 skater advantage for 35 seconds, and then Quebec will have a 2-man advantage
for 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Evason for high sticking. She's not too happy about it.
Let's watch and see if we can pick it up right here. Oh, I see the stick right across the shoulders, above the shoulders. Rick, they have 35 minutes, 4-on-3, then 113, 5-on-4. So obviously this is a pretty important time for the Whalers coming up.
Certainly is. McEwen's goal, by the way, in the power play, unassisted at 13:38. And Peter Stastny, the 30-year-old captain of the Nordiques, leans in against Tippett. The Nordiques control it. Brown takes the drive. He scores. It went in off Liut, and Quebec has tied it at 2.
I'll tell you, when I saw Brown go to shoot this, I said, this is not a very smart shot with a 4-on-3 situation. We're going to see it right here at the right of your screen. He just puts his head down and blasts it without even looking, and you'll see it hits Mike Liut's right pad and goes between his legs. We're going to see it from a little different angle right here, but he has no intent of finding Peter Stastny. You see it go right between Mike's leg. He was down just a little early on this shot.
Quebec goal.
You know, if you're a defenseman, especially a young defenseman, and in front of you, you have Peter Stastny and Michel Goulet, I think you're supposed to look for him. Luckily for the Nordiques, he didn't. He took the pass from Siltanen and just blasted. He got very lucky.
It's been that kind of series for Mr. Brown. That's his 3rd goal, his 5th point in 5 games. He is the leading scorer in the Stanley Cup playoffs among rookies. Ferraro is in the penalty box. That takes care of the Evison call, and the teams are at even strength until Hunter returns in 20 seconds. Lafreniere is checked by Merzen. Ogrodnik checked by Ladouceur. Lafreniere hustles in there, and the Nordiques will have to reorganize at center, and they're looking toward the penalty box, and Hunter now returns. It's a 5-on-4 skater advantage for a 103 with 4:15 to go in the opening period. The game is tied. Here's Hunter. He's got Peter Stastny racing in. Drops it for Hunter. Shoot! Save by the Ute. Evison and Gavin on a 2-on-2 shorthanded. Evison fires. It's deflected, and Gavin almost got a shot on goal. Michel Goulet, 17 power play goals in the regular season, 3 more in this series. Siltanen, who's played a steady game for the Nordiques, keeps it in. Peter Stastny. Out to Picard. Peter has some room. Fires, save. Hunter in the rebound, and he couldn't tuck it on. And with those quick legs makes the stop. 15 seconds left in the penalty. Jarvis curls back. Peter Stastny has it again. He gives it to Gillis. Whalers are back to full strength as Dineen has a steal. He shovels it to Ferraro. Ray fires, and he whistles it past the glove of Gosselin, who is knocked to the ice by Dineen. And the net is dislodged. Picard comes over to give Dineen a shot. And the linesmen get in between them.
Well, Kevin's back on his game. That's twice he's ran into the goaltender in this period. That'll get him going. Let's look at it here. No, this is the... Right, Kevin intercepts right here at the Whaler blue line. He's going to make a pass to Ray Ferraro on his backhand pass here, and Ray's going to go down his opposite wing, and he lets a bullet go, but he misses the net. You know, you got to hit the net if you want to score. Now watch Kevin at the left of your screen. He wikes. Now go. Now he's going to be pushed into Goslin by Muller.
Got that right leg out just to make sure. He and Gosselin are former teammates on the Canadian Olympic team back in '84. Kevin, I'm sure, got along quite well with him in those days. Kevin was a defenseman on that team.
The team that did so well in the, I think Anderson was on that team, wasn't he?
Glenn Anderson was on the 1980 team.
Oh, the 80 team.
There have been a host of National Hockey Leaguers in the past 2 Canadian Olympic teams. Here's Gillis to throw it into that Hartford zone. Under 3 minutes to go. Finally, we've got the teams at full strength, and we're tied at 2. Jarvis chips it out of the zone. McDermott is into Stock Rochefort. Ladouceur gets it back. He's dumped by Gillis right in front of Koharski. No call. Well, we got a whistle. And apparently for Ladouceur being shaken up, there was no signal of a penalty given by Koharski.
I'll tell you one thing, you couldn't be any closer to the play than Koharski was. Let's watch Randy Ladouceur try and beat Gillis. Now, how can this not be a penalty, please?
He's got the puck. Where else is Koharski looking?
I mean, Koharski is right to the left. I don't care if it's accident. Gillis is pleading his case was accidental. Don't make no difference. This is a penalty.
The whole design of these high-sticking penalties and cracking down on it to start the season was to start getting players carrying their sticks lower. There's no need for him to have that stick up around the eyes.
It was accidental. I'm sure it was. I can't say I'm sure it was, but it certainly looked accidental. Kowarski was staring it right in the face.
must have hit the quota of power play chances for the period. We've had 7.
Well, you might not have put these rules in if they're not going to enforce them, believe me. That's the biggest problem in the game of hockey is the rules, not the rules themselves, it's the way they're enforced. You either have some consistency to it or don't even call them at all.
That's the key word, consistency. Here's Jarvis. And he chips it out of play. Gillis and McDermott find each other. Hughes wants a piece of the action. And they're kept apart. Paul McDermott, one of the tougher hitters in the National Hockey League, the penalty minute leader for the Whalers. And we look at Mr. Gillis, who's no stranger to penalty situations.
He's a pretty decent hockey player, you know, Paul Gillis. He plays the game hard, tough, maybe a little, maybe not too kosher at times, but he's a good player.
He's another one of those guys you wouldn't mind having on your team. And while he's on the opposition, you don't care for him too much.
I'd like to have a team where Hunter's my 3rd centerman and Gillis is my 4th centerman. He's a pretty good team, you know.
Good thing they're good penalty killers. Of course, they're always in the box serving the penalties.
I'd like to be a penalty killer in the Quebec Nordiques. Probably get more ice time than Stanley or Goulet.
Speaking of Goulet, Hunter can't catch up to the pass. Peter Stastny. It's backhanded wide by Rochefort. Quenneville calmly gets it out to tip it. 2 minutes to go in the period. We're tied at 2. Evison lost the handle on it. Brown fires it out for Hunter. It's hooked away easily by Gavin. Tippett. Evison swings through. Gavin, one hand to Evison. Michel Goulet. Gave it up to Babbitt. And Evison has clear sailing. The Nordiques to the line change. Kicked off by Gosselin. Picard with a drive, and that's off Sylvain Colte's ankle.
But that was the end of the shift for Dean Evison. He was somewhat exhausted, and he really didn't get much energy into that shot.
Rowe shoots. He hit the post. Oh, he scores. It's in and out. In and out. That was in and out of that net as fast as you could blink an eye.
I have never seen a shot come out that fast, believe me. I originally thought it hit the post like you called, Rick, but he had Dawson going one way, and he got a lot of energy in this shot. Let's take another look at it. It's tough, but he's going to his left, and this is a cannon right here.
I don't know.
I'd like to see this again. It certainly looked like the net bulged.
The net did bulge, but I'll tell you. Yes.
Oh, certainly. That
goes through.
That went through. I'm trying to figure this one out. From one angle, it looked like it hit the post, but it went through. Wow.
I think it went through the net. It hooked around the post and came out the netting. Ferraro gets his first playoff goal.
He is pumped. That's probably the farthest goal he's got all year.
3-2, the Whalers in front with a minute to go in the period. You certainly want to hang on here. Tilted in with teammates trapped in the zone offside, trying to buy a few seconds for a line change. Cote has no qualms about rushing it, firing it, and a save by Gosselin. Now the Whalers have the Francis line on. It's Brown sailing it into the zone. Finds it around a lot of Sur, can't get it by Brown. Cote finds Denis. Francis comes up with it. He's hooked by Rochefort. And the play is offside at the Quebec line as Lawless was trying to bust into that zone.
Rick, Lane Lambert, did he not get a match the other day?
Yes, he did.
That does not cause you to miss the next game, a match penalty?
Well, it depends.
Obviously, it doesn't.
I think if he got a 10-minute match where he intentionally injured Samuelson, he might have.
Here's the goal again. Now watch this. It's going to catch in.
Oh, yeah.
It sort of got tied in behind there and flung out the left side of the post.
I don't see how, from that angle, it could have come out of the net as it went in.
Well, it must have tied on or something like... like in a highlight stick or something like that, whatever you call those things. But, you know, they haven't even gone down and fixed the net. Obviously, there's a hole there.
Yeah. Unassisted goal by Ferraro at 18:48. 3-2. The Whalers are in front. 12 seconds to go. Eagles. Fumbled it to Ladouceur. Anderson, Ferraro, 2 seconds. Ladouceur will take the drive, kicked out by Gosselin, and the horn sounds to end the first period. We've had a little bit of everything. And the sellout crowd salutes the Hartford Whalers, who skate off with the lead. It's been a rarity in this series. They're in front 3-2 after 1. 5 games. 3-2, and they outshot Quebec 13-9, and they trailed 1-0, Jerry. So they got by the problem they were having in scoring the first goal. They came back to grab the lead, as you see. Ron Francis scored. McEwen in his first game of the series, blasting one through Gosselin, and Ferraro with that strange one that appeared to ring around inside the netting and around the post and out again. Nevertheless, it counts, and the Hartford Whalers have the lead at 3-2, and it's a mighty impressive showing for the Whalers in period 1, just what they needed.
This is certainly
for the first time in this series. They've trailed by a goal in 3 of the previous 4 games, and they were down 3-0 in game 3 after 1. They're enjoying the lead as Hunter fans on the pass. Gavin hands it away to Rochefort. Goulet and Ogrodnik plays into the zone. The shot is just wide of Mike Liut. Hunter digs it free. Avison was there to get it away for Dave Tippett. Whalers go for a line change. The Francis line charges onto the ice. Brown with a long lead, and Hunter couldn't gather it in. Merzen gives it to Denis. Leads it by Lawless. He'll still speed in there after it. Hunter lost it again. It's poked away by Alan Cote. Merzen with his drive that hit to Rochefort. Denis runs into Hunter, and Kevin's going to get a penalty for plastering Dale Hunter as Francis controls the puck. Cross-checking the call to Denis. We've played 1:02 of the second, and the Whalers lead 3-2.
We're looking at Kevin Denis, and we're going to see why he's in the penalty box as he's given this penalty for cross-checking. Either that or roughing, and he did have the stick high. But this is the 5th power play for the Nordiques, Rick, and they've scored 2, and the Whalers have to learn. If you're going to take a penalty, it better be your end, and it better be when a guy's about to have a point-blank shot.
Over the last 3 games, the Nordiques have 6 power play goals in 19 attempts. They were 1 for 10 in the first 2 games here, and Dave Tippett thwarts them to start off with. Jarvis opens on the penalty-killing unit, and Tippett will make that shot. Babbage drives it in deep. Silted it to Anton Stastny. They've got Basil McRae to operate in front of Liut. Peter Stastny. Out to Picard. Picard over to Peter Stastny. Fakes the shot. Anton is pressured by Quenneville. Peter has it once again. Shovels it out to Silted. He'll take the shot, and it's wide. McRae had effectively screened Liut, but couldn't get a hold of the shot. McRae had 3 of his 9 goals in the power play after the trade from Detroit. Here's Anton Stastny. 40 seconds to go on the Denis penalty. Anton across to Peter. The one-time attempt was scooped right into the chest area of Quenneville, and he hangs on to it.
I'm sure after these games that Joel Quenneville's a very tired person because he's on the ice trying to kill all penalties. Anton's trying to find brother Peter with a rink-width pass, I'm trying to say, Rick, and it goes right into the stomach area of Joel Quenneville. You know, it's hard to even imagine that Basil McRae is on a power play, but I give him credit. He's not afraid to go and stand in front of the net, take a pounding, and I think you should always have a man in front of the net.
30 seconds to go in the penalty. Here's Finn. He gives it to Goulet. Winds it into Lafreniere. Lafreniere with his pass that hit Cote. Lafreniere to Goulet. Stopped by Mike Liut. The rebound comes to Cote, and he lifts it out. In fact, out of play behind the Nordique bench. Goulet and Liut, that individual battle continues.
Well, Goulet is trying to duplicate what he did the other night in Quebec. Take the pass from Lafreniere and sweep out the front in his backhand. But Mike Liut, he goes down, shuts him off pretty good. Oh, my goodness. I thought that Goulet was complaining to Ladouceur that Ladouceur chopped him or something. What he's saying is, listen, that was an accident, which it certainly was. And he went up to Ladouceur and said, I'm sure he apologized. I don't know if he meant it, but I think he did. That was a dangerous, that skate gets moving around the facial area. It's scary.
Cote trying to find Tippett. It's played back to Brown. Rochefort lets the shot go. Jarvis came out to get a piece of it. Lafreniere, as the penalty's over to Dineen. It's centered and read by Jarvis. He is hooked by Lafreniere, and Quebec will take a penalty when they control Kevin Dineen. Trying to get things cranked up. But hooking is the call to Lafreniere, and the Whalers will take a turn on the power play when we come back. Jason Lafreniere is in the penalty box for hooking at 3:16.
He's going to get Dougie Jarvis right in the armpit area. As soon as Dougie feels it, he takes a little fall right there. And Don Kaharski obliged Dougie Jarvis and give Lafreniere 2 minutes for hooking, I believe it was.
Here's McEwen. He scored the Whalers' power play goal in the first period. That gave the club a 2-1 lead. Here's John Anderson over to McEwen. He'll crank it again. Save by Gosselin. The rebound is chopped off the card by Turgeon. Randy Mulder looks for an opening. He finds it. Dana Merzen and McEwen open up at the points. Picard sends it back for Gillis. Ray Ferraro, who has a goal in this game. Here's the pass to McEwen. Dishes off to Turgeon. He snaps it off, and Gosselin gloves it. He'll hang on to it. 1:06 to go in the penalty.
We're looking at young Jason Lafreniere. He's going to be a pretty good player. He's got great hands. Good power play specialist. And we're looking at young Mario Gosselin, young Steve Finn. I tell you, they don't have bad young guys.
They've got the core of guys who've been there 7 or 8 years, and the older people like Cote, and Michel Bergeron certainly has not hesitated to call on the youngsters, as you pointed out. Here, I don't. Well, we'll get a chance to see the try by McEwen.
There's Gosselin again, Rick. He loves to look over his shoulder when he doesn't know where the puck is. He's been quite fortunate this series that many of the ones that he was trying to find when he's looking over his shoulder didn't end up in the net.
Now the Whalers and Nordiques have got a new playoff record for most penalty minutes in a series. Here's Dineen. Out to Babbage. The one-timer is off the stick of Gosselin. The rebound came back in front, and Gosselin fielded it. And now we've got some jousting in front.
You know where that shot hit, Rick? On the thin part of the stick, the shaft of the stick. And it went straight up in the air. And he caught it and took the whistle. But Babbage one-timed it, got terrific wood on it. And Gosselin made a tremendous save. Let's look at it here. Let's see if he had any idea he was saving this Gosselin. Here's the one-timer. Well, yes, he did. He reacted on it, went off the skinny part of his stick, straight up in the air, and he give it a... He's like a first baseman leaning over into the stands trying to catch the foul ball.
He might be the only 5'8" first baseman in the history of baseball. He ended up at that position, and they'll Drop the puck once again. I don't know, Jerry, if they've checked that net at the other end that Liuta's defending, but you know, we've talked about how that Ferraro goal went in, and I don't know if you mentioned it, but you got to give the goal judge credit. The off-ice officials once again are from the New York Rangers working this game, but that's a tough call for a goal judge.
You know, you're certainly in a better position than we were, Rick, and as we saw in the replay, on one of the replays, that it was in clear as a bell, but I'll tell you, if I had to call it from up here, what I saw originally and what I saw in one of the replays, I would have called it the goal post.
30 seconds remaining on the Whaler power play. McEwen looks for the opening. He gives it to Francis. Here's Lawless shooting. Saved by Gosselin. Covers the rebound. Dineen takes his shot at him, and that gets the Nordiques a little upset. Well, Kevin Dineen certainly isn't going to back away from the Quebec Nordiques, and he took a shot at Gosselin there. And
hey, Kevin's doing what he does best. He is starting to bother those guys now. They've been all over him for 4 games. Here's a nice lated shot of Kevin going to the net. Now let's see if this puck's frozen yet. Yes, it is. It wasn't frozen tightly. Well, what a save he made in Lawless after the whistle. That's all right, Kevin. I like that. I wouldn't like it if I was playing goal, because I know by this time right now, you and I have spent 10 or 15 minutes each in the penalty box. I would have gone through 3 or 4 sticks. Guys like that on your side. You don't like playing against them.
Faceoff comes outside to center because the Whaler point men moved in to help out on the scrum. And we have 20 seconds to go on the penalty to Lafreniere, and we look at him. He'd have trouble growing a playoff beard.
Yeah. He brings a little cat along with him on the road trip just so he'll get a clean shave.
Mulder drives it down the ice.
Rick, as you've noticed, I'm very hoarse. I have
got a frog in your throat or what?
No, shouldn't say that.
The long drive by McEwen is fended off by Gosselin. The penalty's over to Lafreniere. Turgeon had it batted away. Gillis ahead to Lafreniere. Poked away by Babbage. Picked up at center by Cote, dug away by Turgeon. Plays onside as Turgeon lets it go wide. And the puck is caught by Cote. At least he trapped it on the top of the net to get the whistle. Koharski says, that's all right with me.
I have seen some strange things tonight. I've seen a couple of strange goals. The goal, or a couple by the Nordiques, the goal by Ferraro. This thing hit the top of the boards. Didn't hit the glass, went straight up in the air, come back on top of the net, and if, I think it was Picard, if he wasn't sharp, this could have hit the back of Gosselin and gone in. See what a goaltender should do there. And Gosselin just young and learning. When that puck is in the air, and you're lost, or have no idea where it is, you have to get down and make sure your body is back under the crossbar in the net, so it cannot hit you and go in. I found that out the hard way when I was young guy. Maple Leaf Gardens, the guy shot it, missed the net, bounced up in the air, I was looking for it, hit my back and went in.
Tippett's pass is off a skate. Tippett tries it again. Gosselin holds it off. Tippett wrestles with O'Grodnik. He finds Dale Hunter. Cote knocks it down. Goulet keeps it in on the backhand. He sends it wide. We've played just over 6 minutes here in the second period. It's still 3-2 Whalers. Rochefort gives it to O'Grodnik. He's pounded by Joel Quenneville. Evison runs Goulet off the puck, and Dino will get a high sticking penalty for his efforts. He was massaging Goulet right under that shield with the blade of his stick, and the Whalers will be short-handed again. They lead it 3-2.
We're going to see why. No, this is the try by Goulet as he come in and went to his backhand. This is not the penalty. And, you know, young Cote should, when the puck's in the air like that, let it go. Let it go. They're not going to help the opposition.
The Nordiques trying to get set up here as Anton Stastny had his shot blocked by Quenneville. Brown has really handled that point position on the power play well for the Nordiques in this series. Gives it to Peter Stastny. Anton missed the pass. He has struggled in this series. Anton gets it back. Has Peter waiting for it. Goulet sets up in front. Brown back to Peter. Anton looks for Goulet, and Babbage saw that pass coming. Well, these teams have played each other enough. They know that play right out of the Nordique playbook. Goulet over to Brown. The shot. Saved by Liut. He stopped Peter Stastny twice. The puck is still loose, and it's covered up by the goaltender Liut.
This was certainly Liut's best saves of the game, and he had to be sharp here because they have some very dangerous snipers hanging around the front of the net. I'll tell you, the Quebec Nordiques worked the puck beautifully. And here's Brown once again shooting. Nice low shot. It's tipped. Liut makes the first save, the second save, the third save, and finally they kick the puck into him, or he scoops it in himself to make the to get a stoppage of play. You know, Rick, Quebec Nordique power play, as we look at Dean Evison, who's in the box, getting 2 minutes for high stick, and you play with fire, you get burnt. It's a very hot power play, and you just can't give them these chances. They move the puck beautifully. They're good passers. They don't underestimate the importance of making good passes. In other words, they don't nonchalant too much in their power play.
There isn't a bad set of hands out there in that power play.
Except when Basil's out there. And all he has to do is stand in front and have them bank him and off him.
The Whalers have Quenneville and Babbage, Jarvis and Tippett. Peter Stastny's joined by Lafreniere. Here's Brown cranking one, and he misses the net. Boy, he got all of it on that try. Under a minute to go on the penalty to Evison. Lafreniere, who had 131 points last season in junior with Belleville in the OHL, scored well in power play situations this year for the Nordiques as a rookie. Jeff Brown in for Goulet. Quenneville came right out to meet him. Here's Siltanen, one timing it, saved by Liut, and he doesn't let that rebound stray.
See what Babbage and Quenneville did here? As soon as that puck went to Siltanen, who was the best one-timer in the league, they just cleared the front of the net so Mike Liut could see it. The problem Mike Liut has, or would have, or any goaltender would have, when it goes out to this man right here, Siltanen, is getting to see it. And you tell your defense, the goaltender says, when you know the puck's going to Siltanen, I got to see it. Just clear the front of the net. Don't look for the shot to block it. Clear the front so I can block it.
32 seconds left on the penalty. 12:15 remaining in the second period. Siltanen walks into that one and drives it off McRae's skate. It's sent on goal by Picard. Ogrodnik is loose. He can't get anything accomplished. Picard gives it to Hunter. Across for Ogrodnik. He scores. John Ogrodnik. He's dangerous from anywhere on the ice, and he ties the game with a power play goal.
That's why they traded for this guy. Not too many guys in the league would get this goal. When they all slid over to go to Ogrodnik, he held it and he threw it over everyone, and he got it up pretty quick. John Ogrodnik, a goal scorer. They traded a pretty good hockey player, Brent Ashton, to get this guy. This is one of the reasons. This didn't hit a soul wreck. This one right over from the first angle. It looked like it hit someone, but it didn't. It went very quickly into the top of the net. How many guys in the league get goals like that? Might be a handful that can do that. I think the other 5 guys are on Edmonton. Or the other 4 if it's a handful.
That's the third power play goal for the Nordiques. All their goals have come with a man advantage. Ogrodnik is second from Picard and Hunter at 7:59. And we're tied up at 3. Mulder with a pass off Gillis' skate. It's dumped in, and Liut leaves it for Merzen. Turgeon is bumped to the ice. It's kept in by Eagles. The off-balance shot is wide. Anderson directs it out. Eagles gets it to Rochefort. Mulder's harried by Turgeon. Trying to steal the shot, the save by Gosselin. He'll hang on. 11:27 to go in the second period, and the Nordiques have used the power play to tie this game.
Looking at the Nordique bench, assistant coach Simon Oulet talking to Paul Gillis and Alain Cote, two of the premier checkers in the league and penalty killers. But they're not on the ice against Francis, Dineen, and Lawless.
Gosselin has an equipment problem, but he is ready to go. Siltanen with a pass that reaches Eagles. Peter Stastny. Eagles rushes in, takes the shot. It's deflected off Quenneville. Babbage banks it to Dineen. He battles Peter Stastny. Quenneville out ahead for Dineen. Trying to find Lawless, and Siltanen scales it down the ice. Siltanen gets it back again, makes the play to Anton Stastny. Francis is tripped up, and the Nordiques will get a penalty. Hooking is the call to Peter Stastny, and the Whalers get another try on the power play. They'll be looking to take the lead.
Rick, the penalty was to Anton Stastny. I think the referee and the PA guy couldn't tell one Stastny from another. And you see right here as he gets the stick into Ronnie Francis' skate area, and bango, there goes Ronnie.
The Whalers have hit on 1 of 4 power play attempts. That was the McEwen goal, and he's out there with Babbage to back up Turgeon, Ferraro, and Anderson. Mike McEwen with 8 goals in the regular season, 6 in the power play. His shot is knocked down. Turgeon straddles that line. Now he's forced back by Cote. The Nordiques have Gillis and Cote in front of Mulder and Picard. Turgeon slaps it in. Anderson and Gillis knock the pass down. Picard drives it off Babbage. McEwen sends it over to Babbage. 1:10 to go on the penalty to Anton Stastny. And the Whalers once again are having difficulty in getting set up.
They're laboring to get the puck into the Nordiques end. The aggressiveness of Gillis and Eagles and Goulet and...
Dineen has Lawless shooting, saved by Gosselin. Eagles tries to get it out and can't. McEwen over to Babbage. He's rushed by Goulet. Francis gets it back for Lawless. They're looking for Dineen. Kevin had it chipped away by Moeller. Moeller gets it out. 30 seconds to go on the penalty. Dineen stumbles over the stick of Goulet, and Kevin's a little upset that there was no call. Babbage has Lawless busting through there. He can't quite split the defense. Robert Picard will take the shot. It's blocked by Merzen. Time for a quick rush. Under 9 minutes to go in the second period. The game's now tied at 3. Special teams have held the Nordiques in this one as the penalty's over. Gillis is checked by Ferraro. Rochefort sends it in. Merzen quickly gets it around to Anderson. Dana Merzen, who has scored a couple of goals in this series. He'll challenge Rochefort. Peter Stastny has it back. He looks immediately for Anton. Lane Lambert is with him. Anton can't get the shot away. We've got a penalty upcoming to the Whalers, and Don Koharski is going to indicate a hooking call to Turgeon, and the Whalers will beat that one. 8:02 remaining in the second period, and the dangerous Nordique power play is set to go into action.
Again, we're seeing one of the Whalers in the penalty box, and they're digging their own grave. He is going to end up hooking Anton Stastny. He did hook him. Can't argue that point. He was in a spot where I kind of believe the referee had to call it.
Right off the bat, though, it's Tippett and Jarvis to pressure the Nordiques. Goulet gets it back. The guys who have been going to the box are certainly the unlikely ones. Ferraro twice, Evison twice, Turgeon now. It's driven out by Sylvain Cote, who is being spotted along with McEwen. You talk about how tired Quenneville and company have to be. It looks like Jack's going to go with primarily 4 defense and spot the other 2.
I've never really seen it done this way, Rick, when one of the players that you're spotting is out killing a penalty.
Cote gets another opportunity on this Quebec power play. Quenneville gets to the pass first, and he'll clear it with 1:10 to go on the Turgeon call. 7:05 remaining in the second. Nordiques have scored all their goals in the power play. They have an offside whistled against them here. This is their 7th opportunity. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Hartford Whalers and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Hartford Whalers and Sports Channel is prohibited. You see the story. 1:01 remaining on that Turgeon penalty. Picard throws it in. Quenneville is there for it. You know he won't make a mistake with it. Picard hurries it over to Siltanen. Dale Hunter. His men on the poke check. Gets carried in onside by Lafreniere. Chopped away by Sylvain Cote. And Evison gets it out of there.
There's one linesman I never questioned is John D'Amico, but that certainly looked offside to me. It looked like a good 2 or 3 feet offside.
Siltanen rushes in. Liut is bothered by McRae. Quenneville's clear, deflects to Tippett. He comes out with Jarvis. 15 seconds to go on the penalty. Tippett to Jarvis from the angle, and it's just wide. Castellan appeared to be a little slow moving for that one. Hunter. Merzen heads for the corner. Jarvis gets it out just as Turgeon returns, and the Nordiques are whistled down for the offside.
Certainly the Whalers' best effort at killing a penalty, and it came at a great time, and I'm sure Jack Evans will have something to say to his players at the intermission as far as taking penalties go. They can't continually put themselves in a tough situation by taking penalties. You know, the penalty that Turgeon took, it was a hook, and it was in the spot where I guess maybe you're supposed to take it. But a few of the penalties really weren't in the right area of the ice. You don't have to get the stick up at center ice. You don't have to hook a guy in their end or slash in their end. Not in this type of play. That's why the Montreal Canadiens are so successful. They don't do that often.
Dave Babbage gives it to Ferraro. He had trouble with a bouncing pass. It's finally taken by Gillis. Dave Babbage quickly moves it to Ferraro. Anderson sails it in behind the net. Turgeon speeds in against Rochefort. Rochefort covers it with a glove, tries to pull it into his body. Koharski blows the whistle and indicates a face-off.
Norman Rochefort. You say Rochefort or Rochefort?
I think the correct pronunciation is Rochefort.
Rochefort.
You played against his uncle, didn't you?
Leon Rochefort?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Oh, I hate that.
Sorry, Jerry. No, you're not feeling 100% today. Anyway, I think 4 games in 5 nights is taking a little out of your voice tonight.
Yeah. I hate when you say you played with his father or his uncle. My next step will be grandparents. Didn't you play with his granddad?
You and Joe Malone were teammates, weren't you? Dean Evison is out between Gavin and Tippett. Plenty of speed on this line. Here's Babbitt shooting through a screen. It's off Gosselin's glove. Hunter sends it ahead to Goulet. Ogrodnik is checked by Gavin. Goulet slips in there for the puck. Here's Hunter. Can't find Ogrodnik. He's under wraps with Stu Gavin. Sails it by Ogrodnik. Babbage drives it toward the net. Under 5 minutes remaining. Things have calmed down here in the second period. Merzen sends it in. We certainly had an intense start to the action tonight as the whistle blows for Brown deflecting the puck with a stick above the shoulder and retaining control of it. The Celtics' last regular season home game is coming up Friday, April 17th against Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. You can join Tom Heinsohn and Mike Gorman at 7:15 p.m. for the pregame show. Soon it will be NBA playoff time.
The Celtics has been struggling some on the road. I think they're just playing possum. I really do.
I think so.
They just want to make sure they're healthy going into the playoffs.
Gotta have Mr. Walton and a few others back. Here's Siltanen, makes the pass around to Eagles. And Dineen belts him. We're going to have a call against Kevin Dineen.
This call should go against Eagles. And I think it is, Rick.
Okay.
He got the elbow up on Kevin. Kevin come out to make a straight hit, and Mike Eagles got the elbow up. He was protecting himself, and right in front of Kolarski. Let's look right here. Now here comes Kevin. He'll come out of your picture. Watch this.
Boom.
Certainly, there's the elbow, the right elbow. Eagles, 2 minutes elbowing. He shouldn't shake his head. If you're afraid to get hit in this game, you shouldn't be in it.
15:24, the time of the penalty. Elbowing to Eagles, and the Whalers go in the power play for the 6th time. This is their 3rd opportunity in this period. Each club has had 3 opportunities in the second period. Lawless is checked by Alan Cote. McEwen one-hands it to Dineen. Kevin can't get a shot away. He sets it up to Lawless. Lawless out to Babbage. Over to Kevin. Can't get it teed up. Francis lets it go. Lawless, who is still able to shoot the puck fairly hard in the workout this morning, feels confident he can put it by Gosselin if he has to tonight. Here's the shot by Babbage. Save. Rebound by Dineen is covered by Mario Gosselin. And the wrestling begins. This time it's Dineen and Cote, and Gosselin flings the stick to Kolarski. Saw that. Time, though, D'Amico and Corsi have their hands full.
Silly penalty by Gosselin. Kevin Dineen's got every right in the world to go towards the net. I'm sure the coach of the Nordiques say, anytime you get involved with Dineen, go at it with him, hopefully to take him off the ice. But anyway, they're going to catch Gosselin for swinging his stick. A very immature penalty, to say the least. And now, Rick, this is certainly the moment of truth for the Whalers. They wasted a 2-man advantage in Quebec in the 3rd game. Who knows if they would have scored a couple. But anyway, Gosselin makes a great save right here on Kevin Dineen. And here comes the troops in to take a shot at Kevin. Now, watch this. Here we go. He hasn't done it yet. There he goes. Oh, certainly. Of course, that was a phony one, too. He didn't even want to get close to him.
2 closest people to him were his teammates. And a break for the Whalers. In addition to that, one of the penalty killers has to serve this penalty for the goaltender.
Very good. That's right. You know, that had to be a high stick because he was laying down. His shoulders were about a foot off the ice. So once he got it into the motion, the stick was over his shoulders.
Bergeron, who second home, is in the doorway of his bench, whether at home or on the road. Came out to yell at Kolarski a little bit about the call. Gosselin picked up 20 minutes in penalties in the regular season.
Right now they're waiting for the Nordiques to send a player to the penalty box to serve the penalty for Gosselin. And the player will be Alan Cote, which is an excellent penalty killer. And the reason he's there and not Gillis is obvious, is the fact that the faceoff is in the Nordique end. And you certainly want a centerman.
The call to Gosselin at the 16-minute mark.
As I was saying, you want Gillis up there in case there's a face-off. And as soon as I said that, boom, they put on Peter Stastny. But after the other night, they're supposed to put on Peter Stastny.
Were you surprised when Bergeron put him out there on Saturday night?
No, over the years when they have been 2 men short, Peter Stastny, he's the man.
Here's McEwen over to Babbage. Bergeron to Babbage. 1:10 left in the 2-man advantage. The pass is deflected. McEwen hurries, but he can't keep it in against Peter Stastny. Ray Ferraro leaves it for Babbage. Ferraro's pass is dug away by Mulder. Anderson pokes it out in front. Turgeon gets to it. Babbage shooting. Kicked out by Gosselin. McEwen's in. Babbage over to Ferraro. Shoots. Saved by Gosselin. Rebound by McEwen is blocked by Peter Stastny. Anderson to Babbage shooting. Save. Ferraro on the rebound. Can't get it teed up as Mulder drops him. And the net is moved away from the Magnets. We've got 30 seconds left on the Eagles penalty. 1:05 on the Gosselin penalty.
This is a very close call to be an intentional movement of the net off the moorings. I don't know what type of penalty that's, a delay of the game. Let's take a look at it as Babbage tries to put it in front. Gosselin makes a save which he can't control. The puck's going to end up in the to the left of Gosselin. Now watch. Oh my goodness. Koharski refused. Excuse me. That wasn't intentional. That was intentional. It looked like he lost his balance, but I don't think the net had to come off its moorings.
Perhaps he's banking on Koharski not calling another penalty.
Well, he was right. Now here's the good right pad skate. I should say the right skate save by Gosselin. Well, he's the one to put himself in this trouble. He's got to bail them out now. We got how much left in the first penalty? 20 seconds?
30 seconds to go.
Obviously, what's very important right here is the face-off. If the Nordiques win this draw, they'll knock about between 15 and 20 seconds off. If they can get an icing out of it.
They still have not been able to get much going in front of the net, the Whalers. We look at 10-year veteran Alan Cote along with Eagles. Gillis wins the faceoff. Rochefort cannot drive it out. McEwen over to Babbage. Rochefort comes over to meet him and just got a piece of the pass. Babbage for the pass that's blocked by Gillis. 13 seconds to go on one penalty. McEwen over to Babbage. The pass is tipped once again by Rochefort. Lawless can't get it by Rochefort. Eagles is out. It's a one-man advantage. Babbage the shot, and it rockets wide. Off the side of the net, off the boards, and into the crowd. 31 seconds to go on the penalty being served by Cote.
There's no question that this face-off will be outside as it hit the top of the dasher and went into the crowd. I'll tell you, Rick, the Nordiques did a tremendous job killing being down by 2 men. Guys were sliding in front of shots, blocking them. They were very aggressive going to the points. They had good movement. They were well schooled on how to kill off a 2-man shortage.
Whalers are in danger of allowing Quebec to have a real momentum turner here. They can't get one behind Gosselin.
They have 31 seconds left, and I'll tell you, it's near the end of the period. With 2 minutes and 31 seconds left, it's a real downer. Going in the dressing room, knowing that you've just wasted a 2-man advantage.
Picard gets it out. Babbage. McEwen backhands it in. Francis races in after Mulder. Deneen in for the puck. Picard got it out of his reach. Lawless back to McEwen. The shot saved by Gosselin. He's been at his best so far tonight in this 2-man disadvantage situation. Francis to Deneen. Hooks it between the point men, and that will do it. Cote is out, and Quebec has survived a minute 25 2-man disadvantage. Under 2 minutes to go, second period. Peter Stastny across for Anton. He's bumped by Deneen. Babbage ahead for Lawless. It's out of his reach. Whalers want a line change. The Evison trio comes on. Anton Stastny back to Brown. Ladouceur. Can't get it by Rochefort. Gavin maneuvers out. He's got Tippett busting in. Brown is back, has some help. Here's Merzen up late on the backhand. Saved by Gosselin on the rebound, and he took it away from Evison.
Evison made a great play there, but Gosselin made a tremendous save. He read what Evison was going to do. Certainly Gosselin has been at his best in the last 5 minutes, and that was a terrific save.
50 seconds remaining in the second period. Nordiques have the period's only goal. They've tied this game up at 3. Ladouceur. Back for Merzen. Gavin is held up by Goulet. Moeller tries to contain the Whalers here for the final 22 seconds. Has the watchful eye on Ladouceur. Merzen runs a little interference. Here's the pass that skips by Gavin with 7 seconds to go in the period. Tippett gets there, and apparently it's touched first by Finn, and we got an icing call against the Whalers with 4 seconds to go.
Nevertheless, Rick, that was a great effort by Davey Tippett. I kind of thought he got there first, to be honest with you, but John D'Amico doesn't make many mistakes. Oh, 4 seconds left. There's enough time for something dangerous to happen in the Whalers' end. Here's Tippett now. He's finding Dana Merson coming in late. Dana elects to go to his backhand, and he's bothered an awful lot. Nevertheless, now watch this play. Dana made a terrific play, but Gosselin was very sharp. So you think goalies are stupid, don't you? He knew what Evison was doing there all the time. You think ex-goalies are stupid.
And Dryden was a goaltender. Siltanen shoots. Knocked down, and the horn sounds to end the second period. Now the Quebec Nordiques not only continue to work their magic on the power play, they hold off the Whalers shorthanded. In fact, killed off a 2-man disadvantage, and the score is tied after 40 minutes here at the Civic Center.